Wow, wow. Thank you, everybody, for that lauding welcome. You all have been a great audience. I mean, you all sure do clap a lot for a host of people whose IQs are lower than their credit score. Your host, everybody, Tobias. Give him a round of applause. Every time I see Tobias, I'm reminded of the roadkill that I saw 2 years ago. Is he laughing? Tell me, is he laughing? Tobias has been divorced. His first wife spoke 6 languages, but when it came time for sex, she couldn't say yes in any of them. One night, me and Tobias and his last ex-wife were drinking, and he offered his wife to me sexually, and all I could say was, no thanks. I throw away my empties. Excuse me, ma'am, if you don't start showing signs of life, they're going to call in the corner. Um, Fact. Here you go, everybody, for a little bit of fact. Did you know that the part of the brain that is responsible for smelling is also associated with the part of the brain that is responsible for memories? However, if you cannot smell natural gas, you won't have to worry about having a bad memory because you'll be dead. I love scary movies. Love them, love them. Love scary movies. I mean, possessions, poltergeists, demons and ghouls, exorcisms. I love all of them. But one thing I don't like about the newer horror flicks, I mean, they've all become way too predictable. I mean, the person in the movie will attempt to invoke the demon. What's your name, demon? My name is Beelzebub. But just once I'd like to see a possession scene go like this. What's your name, demon? What's your name? My name's Steve. Steve the demon. I'm actually just a substitute demon. I'm actually filling in for my friend Matt Demon. Hey, but be glad you're not at the Robinsons' house because they're being haunted by demon wayans. Boogie, 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 boogie. Annoying sounds? Annoying sounds? I hate the sound of cold butter being spread over burnt toast. It's that same sound effect that you get when you're using a back scratcher on a burn victim. I don't know if you all could tell by looking at me, but yes, I am ethnic as fuck. And I'm beginning to think that my family lied to me about my heritage. One reason I think this is because when my beard grows in, like it never grows evenly. I'm starting to think I'm Apache Indian because my beard would only grow Apache here, Apache there, Apache on the bottom. I was going to do some jokes about dry humor, but I left the baby powder at the house. One thing that really concerns me is that Braille is an option at drive-through ATMs. I moved here from Atlanta, and in Atlanta there's a popular metro station, and there's a Burger King outside of it, and there was one day when I was walking out of this Burger King, and this was back when I used to make bad decisions like eating at a Burger King, and a quadriplegic homeless guy came up to me, and he's like, hey man, you got some extra change, bruh? It's like, fuck you, dude, I need liquor too. Then he comes back, man, hey man, I see you got that brown bag there, man. You got some food you can lend a brother? I was like, look, man, I'll tell you what. If you can guess how many burgers are in this bag, I'll give you both of them. He comes back, he says, 3. And, it's a popular metro station there in Atlanta. I would take the public transportation, so I would see him often. And so I knew this cat. I don't say I knew him, but I saw him around pretty often, and like I said, he was a quadriplegic. He was a homeless guy. I felt bad for him. He was homeless. He was quadriplegic. There's a couple days where I just had him give him a few bucks to help get him on his feet. I mentioned to you all that I'm ethnic, but you can also tell by what you've heard so far that yes, it's true, I am mostly racist, but only from the waist down. Only from the waist down. But don't get me wrong, I'm not a mean person. I'm not a negative person. And you all should know this because my blood type is B positive. Can I get a high five for that joke? Come on, high five. Come on. Don't leave me hanging like a black guy at a KKK rally. I like living in Colorado. It's pretty swell, you know. I like living out here. I moved out here last year from Atlanta, Georgia. Anybody here from Atlanta, Georgia? Good, good. So you can back me up. In comparison to Colorado, fuck Atlanta, Georgia. Okay? Georgia is still a redneck state through and through. Georgia is so redneck that they still think that gravy is a beverage. I mean, there's a lot of things I've seen in Colorado that I rarely saw in Atlanta. One of those things is naked women. 9 months I've been in Colorado. 9 months in Colorado. I've had more sex than I've had in the last 3 years in Atlanta, Georgia. I mean, Georgia girls put out less than Louisiana Power Company during a hurricane. Let me tell you, the vaginas of women in Georgia are so unused that the last time I went down on a girl in Georgia, I developed mesothelioma. Yeah, it hadn't been used in so long that I got that from sucking out her dusty, asbestos-filled queefs. And actually, I say I couldn't get laid in Atlanta, and that's partly true. But what I should have said is that in the last few years, I had a lot of mediocre sex. And with that being said, I'm sure you all could interpret that means I had sex with a host of black women. And I mean, don't get me wrong. If you look good, you look good. Obviously, I didn't discriminate. You know, I can't help it, though. Every time I have sex with a black woman, I would always think about breakfast. You know, maybe it was them big pancake areolas. You know, maybe it was their sausage nipples. Maybe it was that smell of cocoa butter. Oh, here you go. For all the numbers freaks in the crowd, the number 10 is really just an exaggerated number 1. Number 10 is just a big number 1. In order to make 10 from 1, we added nothing to it. We actually added absolute 0 to it. 10 is just a big 1. And 20 is just a big 2. You know what 30 is? 30 is just as big as 10 and 20 combined. Stupid phrases. Love stupid phrases. I might have to do a whole new segment on stupid phrases. You know, I got a kick out of it every time somebody uses the phrase, great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. Yeah? Well, so do ordinary ones. That's like telling somebody you finished next to last in a 2-person race. You didn't finish next to last. You won the fucking race. I'm not going to say that I've never peed in a pool. But what I will say is that every pool that I've been in has had pee in it.